What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy G Waterz, Soul of the Streets. In this episode, we have the talented brother doing amazing things with his gift and within the music community. Mr. Trey Jones, welcome to Soul of the Streets, man.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Bless, bless. Everything is good. Everything is good, and I'm just excited to have you on the show because I've been supporting before we say goodnight, and that song was I remember meeting you at the Sugar Bar, Ashford Simpson Sugar Bar,
Yes,
and
sir.
I believe you say music, soul child's love, and then that you just bodied it that night. It was like the highlight for a lot of us that night. So and then to see, and then when I got to hear, we spoke, and then you sent me your music link, and then I heard your original music. I was like, oh yeah, this is a special brother. And then you're from VA as well, so
Yes,
a lot of
sir.
great talent from Virginia. So how has the journey been for you? How have you been enjoying it, and how you feel about the whole situation?
Oh man. So yeah, first of all, shout out to VA, specifically shout out to the Northern Neck where I was born and raised, 804. Um, the journey has been incredible, man. So much has happened since the last time I was at Ashford and Simpson. Um, well, like my initial appearance at
Yeah,
Ashford and Simpson, I should say. Uh,
you done blew up.
yeah, man. Little something like that. But yeah, it's been incredible. As you mentioned, like before we say goodnight was my very first single that I ever put out, and it's done like some amazing things for me. It's exposed me to a lot of different opportunities. Uh, so just to kind of like name a few, like I've been able to open up for various artists. Just to name a few, Eric Roberson, Christopher
Hmm.
Williams, R&B group Troop, the legendary Charlie Wilson,
Yeah.
um, and the list just continues to go on. And yeah, from that, specifically like being introduced to Christopher Williams, he actually got me the opportunity to sing with After Seven as a background vocalist.
Nice.
And yeah,
I
yeah.
just got to see
So
him
it went from
a
that
couple
to
of weeks
now.
ago at a show in the Bronx. I got to meet him as well. Dope brother.
Yes,
Dope.
sir. Yeah, that's his
Yeah.
that's his hometown. So he gonna rep
Hmm.
it.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
But yeah,
All right.
yes
Well.
indeed. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a part of After Seven, a group that helped define an era of R&B. What do you feel people misunderstand most about that legacy?
Man, that's a great question. I really don't know off the top, but if I had to take like an educated guess, if you will, I'd say with the way that music is today, uh, it's kind of easy to it's kind of easy to not really necessarily think about like the music that specifically people like from the era of After Seven has put out and how relevant it is today. We sing about love, we sing about like real relationship, ups and downs, you know what I mean? um and a lot of the music that's like really in the forefront.
Hmm.
And I really want to emphasize that because there's a lot of really good music out there from a lot of really really great artists that just doesn't get, like, in my opinion, doesn't really get the 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 spotlight as much as they should. um that also sing about like real love, real relationship type of scenarios. um it's easy to kind of get lost with that stuff when it's not really being put out. Like you hear more about like the explicit stuff these days, which as a youngin is fine, but it's
Yeah.
like you kind of miss that, like the songs with like real meaning, songs that people can actually say, man, like that really got me through like a really tough moment in my relationship, or hey, like this song makes me have a different perspective on how I look at my relationship, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just to kind of name a few, like, use case scenarios, right? Like After Seven's music is that kind of music that will make you think about you know your love life, as a man,
Make you
how
want
you're
a real love life.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like when if you really
Something
want a
meaningful.
real love like that will sustain, that will last, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, I think with all of with that, that was the thing back in the day. Whereas now it's not so much. And so everything is kind of tailored to more of a shorter attention span. Everything is kind of tailored towards like, what we see a lot on social media and all of that kind
Hmm.
of stuff. And like I said, explicit content. Um,
Yeah, it's like the singers today, the sound like they want to rap more
yeah,
so than they want to sing. And then I question, I wonder,
like
sometimes I wonder,
flat out saying,
do they, do they sing? Can they sing? Like, do they have the voice? Because a lot of great singers come from the church, and like I'm like, do these cats go to church? Like, do they hear the vocals that inspired
yeah,
some of the music that made them want to even be R&B artists? Because like we're like you can't just be listening to Jeezy then want to sing. I don't know.
right, right. You definitely hear a lot of that too in today's music. It's definitely I call it like melodic rap almost.
Yeah.
Uh, but
That's why
yeah,
when I heard your song, I was like, okay, yeah, this young brother got it. Like he knows, he understands. Like there's still artists out there that's up and coming that's still making that real. I mean, 'cause that's a real. Before we say goodnight, it's like a real. It's like a ballad first off, and then it's a
yeah.
real ballad, and then the vocals is crazy. So it's like, okay, so yeah, he knows, he
Appreciate
knows,
you,
he knows what he's doing.
brother.
What does it
Yeah,
mean
that's
to
how I grew
carry
up,
the
man.
After Seven name today in a completely different music landscape?
Say that one more time. Sorry.
What does it mean to carry the After Seven name today in a completely different landscape?
So for me, it's like a dream come true.
Hmm.
So just like I grew up listening to After Seven. I grew up listening to Atlantic Star, SOS
Yeah,
Band, Luther Vandross. All these artists that had to know how to sing, and to be able to be like never in my I'll say this, it was like a dream come true, but then again, never in my wildest dreams would I ever thought that this would be my life today, where I'm actually like a face of After Seven. uh but to be an actual like principal member of After Seven today, first of all, it's an incredible experience, and it definitely means a lot to me, and it provides me further affirmation that I have what it takes to do this. Because for so long, I'd say for at least 20 years, I didn't think I had what it took to do what
20
I'm doing.
years. I thought you were about
Yeah.
24.
No, man. I'm actually 35.
35? Same thing.
Yep. Yep. Just a 10-year
That,
difference. But yeah, like for the at least 20 years of my life, I kind of had this mindset of, oh, I'm just gonna sing as a hobby. I don't want to do it as a career because I really don't think that I had what it took. Because again, growing up in that era, you had to know how to sing. You had to have skills to like really be in the forefront in the music and entertainment industry.
hmm.
And I knew I could sing, but I didn't think I could sing that great. And so to be here now and just kind of like looking back over my life and just kind of basically seeing like how far I've come, and kind of reevaluating the things that I used to tell myself when I used to doubt myself. I'm just like, like this is a living testament that you can do, you know, anything that you put your mind to. And if you have the gift, then your gift is going to make room for you.
Right. When was that moment that you realized that I do have it?
So the pivotal moment for me was when I did Voices of Fire. A lot of people probably don't know that about me, but Pharrell Williams and his uncle Bishop Ezekiel Williams, they established this choir called Voices of Fire, and
Hmm.
what they were intended to do was just kind of like showcase and highlight the talent that's in Virginia, because as we mentioned before, like Virginia is filled with an extreme amount of talent. And I was kind of told to do it from like family members and friends. It was like you better do this. You better not let this opportunity pass you by. Like you better
Right.
go do it. And so I went and I did it, and it was risky because I was working in D.C., so I would have to drive from D.C. all the way to Norfolk, Virginia during the week. audition, and then turn around and drive back to the
Okay.
DC area because I was still, like I said, I was still working, 5 days a week. So that was kind of rough. But when I did it, it felt it felt easy. Like I don't want to say it was easy because it wasn't, but to me, it felt easy. Like it felt like I was at home. And
Okay.
when I found out that I made it, uh, I then started to like just look around, and I was just like, all these like incredibly talented people, from singers to songwriters to directors to producers to musicians, and the list goes on. And you're in this mix, and you get to travel with these people. Like we've done, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, we've done the Jimmy
Mm.
Kimmel Show, we've done MSNBC, and so many other things. And I'm like, I'm actually a part of this. And not to mention, we're on Netflix. So if you go on Netflix, like you'll
Okay.
see me on there. And I'm like, yeah, that was the pivotal moment for me that made me realize that you do have what it takes to do this. And so now it's time to stop denying yourself and go ahead and push for
Yeah, well, we're glad you did that because I mean,
it.
I'm glad you did it. I mean, because that song just lights up my playlist whenever I spin it. Because I was like, sometimes you just gotta bring it on back. I was like, that's the beauty of having an independent show. Like, you can just go
Yeah.
back to something that's classic, even though the world hasn't heard it yet. But it's classic. Like I played it to death, and then I was like, I give it a break, and now I was like, you know what? Let me throw that old school Trey Jones back on. But it's still new
I
school.
appreciate it, man.
No, so I definitely feel that. How does performing R&B today compare to when you first stepped into the space?
So I would say probably I would probably compare like when I first got started doing my thing, versus doing stuff like with After Seven. So when I first got started, of course, I got started, just doing like background vocals for, local artists. But then I think late 2023 is when I decided to kind of like step out and do my own thing. And in that particular moment, it was just like, performing like locally. I would still get nervous
Mm-hmm.
because, it's my first time stepping out on my own. And I've always kind of wanted to be in a group. Uh, I never really wanted to be like in the forefront by myself
Oh,
initially.
really? Okay.
Yeah. But like once I finally stepped out there on my own, like I said, nervous, but then once I actually did it and the amount of love that was shown to me, it like made me realize, okay, all right, I do have what it takes to stand on my own. Let's do it. Let's go for it. And it was a lot that I had to learn. From like the business aspect to the artistry and all that kind of stuff, branding and all, and all those things that are coupled with just being your own entity. Um, but then as I got with After Seven, I've realized that performing is it's it it's on a whole different level.
Mm-hmm.
Different types of audiences, getting to travel various places, and doing meet and greets and taking pictures, and like it's different because it's like
How
you're now
has
like it's kind
the
of like you're a
response been?
celebrity now.
How has the response been like? Because I mean, you
Uh,
replacing some great. I mean, we lost Melvin from After Seven, and Keith. He's no
yeah.
longer with the group as of right now. So you replacing some members, you and the other gentleman that's in the group. You know, some key members that really made a mark in the game. How has it been? How have they received you
Mhm.
with being a new face in such a established legendary group?
Well, I'm not going to say surprisingly, but I will say that the love has been genuine. They kind of see me as like the baby of the group because technically I am. So like when they see me on stage, it's like, oh, like he's such a little cutie pie up there. Look at him. There's still some people that's like, where is Keith? And then some people think that I'm actually like a family member, like an Edmonds family. Oh, that's Melvin's. That's Kavon's son. Kavon doesn't
Right.
have a son, but they'll swear up and down like that must be your nephew. Like you got to be in Edmonds. Like there's some sort of like family time. Like no, not even.
Family within the
We just
music.
kind of have like a similar skin tone.
Right.
Say
I
again.
mean, singing with
Oh
After Seven. I mean, Kavon's voice is ridiculous. So, like, how is it when you first
no.
started rehearsing and just being on stage singing with that voice that made all those songs so popular, that high tenor, like that's got that had to been like a damn.
Bro, listen, man. So I have to say, I have to tell you this story. So when I first got the call to be flown to Nashville to rehearse, like with the music director. Shout out to my big bro, Brian Harrison. I call
Hmm.
him Byron. But
Okay.
that was my first time meeting Kavan when I flew to Nashville, and it was supposed to be a 2 day rehearsal. I missed my flight because the
Mm.
flight changed gates on me without me knowing. And so I missed the whole first rehearsal. And I was like, I'm about to get fired on my day off. Like, man, come on. This is a great opportunity, man. Like I was kind of like losing my stuff. But then I flew in, I think about 9:30 that night, that Monday night. And I met Kavan at the hotel, and I was like so apologetic. I was like, man, I'm sorry, sir. Like, I tried, like I wanted to be here on time, but the flight changed gates. Like, he was like, no, man, no, it's cool. It's cool. Don't worry about it. He was like, could you stay a little bit longer? I was like, hey, listen, I will stay for a whole month if you need me to. I just don't want to lose my job, man. Like, but he was like real cool, like real calm, like real, of course, real like soft spoken. And I think that was probably like the first time that I felt like starstruck.
Okay.
uh, but we went to rehearsal the next morning, that Tuesday morning, and I didn't know he was going to come to the rehearsal. I thought it was just going to be me, the other background singer, and the music director. And so while
Mm.
we're singing, he walks through the door, and I'm like,
Oh, this
I
is
was like,
real.
yeah, I was like, oh man, I was like, you mean I got to sing in front of? I was like, I hope my voice don't mess up. So like, he'll look at me. He was like, you know this song right here? Sing this song right here, and I'm like, you want me to sing? So like it was cool. But then one of the so like joining as a background singer, they wanted me to do KC's part in the song I Care About You, which is from the
Mm.
fictional group Milestone, off the Soul Food movie soundtrack. And that was gonna be like my quick lead moment, and I was going back to the background and do wop.
Not after that.
So yeah. When he first heard me, they were like, "Oh yeah, he sounds good. He sounds really good." And so, I think that was like April 7th and April 8th, and then April 12th was my first show with them at the Fox Theater in Detroit.
Oh, April
And
12th. Damn, that's my birthday.
yeah, it was cool. Oh,
Okay.
nice, nice.
Yes.
Yep, that was a special day for me.
Me too.
Um, but yeah, his voice is incredible,
Yes, that's for
super
sure.
incredible. But yeah.
Okay. Well, what's one thing about
So I'm
being
having a little
in a
bit of
group?
a delay.
How? So, what's one thing about being in a group that solo artists might never fully understand?
um, let's see. The first thing that I would say, and hopefully you can hear me because it's kind of like freezing up a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you. We're getting a little
Uh,
freeze, but it's all good. We're
okay,
gonna make it.
cool,
We're gonna make it through.
cool. So the first thing is like blending vocally. Uh, Solo artists, of course, they're used to like singing on their own and being able to, do whatever, in center stage. But when you're
Hmm.
with a group of singers, when it's time to, harmonize and stuff like that, or even when it's time to sing in unison, being able to blend with each other and sound like one person when you're singing unison, and then being able to sing in harmony, and for people to sit in the audience and be like, okay, who's singing what part? Like, it makes them think. That's one of the things, for sure, that's going to be like a huge difference. And then the other is being able to work with each other. Like, with
Hmm.
After Seven, we do choreography. So like being able to be in sync with each other when doing like movements on stage and stuff like that. Uh, and yeah, just working as a team, because with us it's three principles, or if you're a group of more, you're all one entity. There isn't really one that's any greater than the other, uh, when it comes down to like the work that we do. versus a solo artist, you solo dolo. So,
Right,
you're
right.
getting the center spot, like all the attention is on you. Whereas with us,
N-
like the attention is on the three of us, and then fans will be fans of whomever, so it just really depends. But
Right.
it's really being mature enough to understand that as well.
With you being the youngest in the group, and with the choreo, like how did it take you long to adapt to the choreo? Because I know you got a few, you probably brought some new steps to the group, right?
So here's the thing, and I'm just gonna be completely honest with you, brother. Dancing was never a thing for me. Ever. You can ask anybody in my family. That was never, ever, ever a thing for me. I've always been the one who would sing, but I would never be the first person to go to the dance floor. I was never the person to like be, you know, dance king or anything like that
Right.
at all. I was, yeah, no.
So
So
this,
when I
so the,
found
so
out
go,
about
getting in the
having to
group
go
made
to the
you pushed you to your two step.
Yeah, and I that was the one thing that made me hesitant because like once it was time for me to go up front, I didn't want to do it. They had to like push me, like literally like push me, like you got it, you can do it. Like I remember my big bro Will, who was the other principal after seven, like we laugh about this all the time, but we had we were in Nashville and we were going over like choreography, and shout out to our manager slash choreographer Jamel Graves.
Okay.
Um, he like would teach us the movement. And my boy Will, he looked at me, he was like, "Come on here, little bro. Let's go get this A whooping. Let's go."
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I don't want to do it, man. Like, I don't want to embarrass myself. But like, that's one of the things, like, it made me channel something that I'm not used to doing. It made me step out of my comfort zone and like really work hard and like really drill down into like getting it. So now like I've gotten a lot more comfortable with it on stage. Like I'm locked in. I got like tunnel vision. So like I'm gonna make sure I get these steps right. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna make it do. We gonna get the slide. We gonna what I'm saying. We
Yeah.
gonna we
Well,
gonna
hey,
do a
listen, when
move.
it's
We
time
gonna get the
when you
spin.
come when you get back to the solo, you're gonna be like genuine. You're gonna be killing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and that's the great thing too. Like all that stuff, like it really teaches me. You know what I mean? Like as a youngin that's growing up and like really stepping into like this whole like music industry. It's like learning the full art of performance. Not really just singing, but like
Right.
Jamil would tell me all the time, like you being in a group puts you in a really good position because people will get to see you, they'll get to hear you, and you'll be learning like you're learning like choreography while singing at the same time. So it's things that you can pick up off of.
Oh
So
yeah, definitely, definitely.
yeah,
No, that's
it's
dope.
cool. It's really cool.
What was your mindset recording before we say goodnight, and what does that song represent for you personally?
um so before we say goodnight was a song I actually wrote about my wife. um
Shouts to the
so
wife.
yes indeed. When COVID hit back in like 2020, and I caught it. I caught COVID on my 30th birthday, literally on
Mm.
my 30th birthday. And I couldn't do nothing. My wife, she's a nurse, and so she takes this stuff seriously. She was like, "You're not allowed to go anywhere in this house other than the bathroom and the bedroom." So
Damn.
me,
He's on
I'm not
lockdown.
used to, yeah, literally in my own house. I'm like, dang, bro. Uh, I was like, I'm not used to sitting still. Like, I got to do something. So that's when I actually started writing. And I remember just kind of like sitting back and thinking about like our relationship. And one of the things that uh, she always like emphasized was never go to bed angry with each other. And of course, that's biblical too. And so, of course, every relationship, like, you have your moments, you have your differences and stuff like that. And that was always one of the things that she reminded me of, regardless of whatever differences we have, never go to bed angry. Let's at least talk about it. Let's get to a place where we're civil, you know, and then be able to like rest at night.
That's
And
dope.
so that's basically like the concept of the song. So like, when I say, so are the good days and bad days, you're the last person I see, last person I talk to, the only one I make love to. That's basically where that song, like that whole entire concept comes from. It just comes from like, conversations that we've had
Songs
amongst
with meaning
ourselves. Yes, that part.
from the heart,
That part.
real truthful things that you actually live and abide by. That's dope, dope,
Yeah, yeah.
dope. Do you feel like R&B is missing something right now, or is it just evolving into something different?
Uh, I say a combination of both. Um, I do think it is, a lot of the music that's really out there today, that's that's been put out there, um, is missing that like those meaningful lyrics, and the vocals that emphasizes those meaningful lyrics. Singing with passion and singing with emotion. Uh, it's not too much of that out there, but I feel like it's slowly starting to come back though. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's slowly starting to come back a little bit, um, with the help of social media like TikTok, for an example.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, Instagram, YouTube, and whatever else that people use. Uh, it's like gradually like making its way back in. Like I would give a special shout out to my man's Lavelle.
Mm.
He makes a lot of like R&B music that has like those
Oh yeah,
meaningful lyrics
he's a
with
soulful brother.
like,
He's been on the show too. He's dope, 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 dope.
yeah. And when I like we've mentioned this before, but you know he has a church background. And
Mm-hmm.
so like I don't know if you've been to like any one of his shows, but like he will take you into worship at his shows. And so that having that background right there, and then adding that sauce to the R&B music that you do, like you feel it. And
Mm-hmm.
so him having the songs that he's had out now, still putting out great music. Of course, one of his famous songs is with Anthony Hamilton,
Yeah,
"When
that
We
joint
Fell
is
in
fire.
Love." That's my cut. But yeah, actually he has a song with After Seven too. But yeah, he has some really dope music, and so Jill Scott just came out with hers. So there's a lot of people that's coming back with that, those meaningful lyrics with passion and emotional singing. Uh, so yeah, as far as like evolvement, um, I think it's kind of like bringing, it's kind of still like having that feel of what we're used to, where it has like that mixture of hip hop involved in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of like you're getting the best of both worlds, in my opinion.
Okay.
Little ways to go, but I feel like we're slowly getting back there.
Well, you're adding to it. You're adding to it. So we appreciate you. What do you think has allowed
Thank
After Seven to remain respected while many acts from that era faded out?
you. Let's see. I think what has allowed After Seven to remain respected is once again timeless music. Um, you know, After Seven's music is timeless, and After Seven's music has also been sampled. And so, like, if you come to any one of our shows, like you'll see like we've done like Ready or Not, and we'll I'm not even going. Everyone knows like Jasmine Sullivan has sampled that
Right.
song. With with the "Let It Burn." There's no running. It's your turn. Yeah. So like having that right there, and then she's a relatively relevant singer and vocalist and songwriter today, so that helps. um and then yeah, After Seven has established that fan base, being in the game for over 35 years, so they have that established fan base, right? And so that's what keeps us going.
Yeah.
And then just having like the youngins like myself and like my boy Will, who add like that flavor to it. uh it keeps things interesting. And then with our shows, like we're the choreography sometimes like we'll change up the shows, if you will. Just doing little things that'll spice it up and
Mm-hmm.
make people want to come and catch the After Seven experience. So by the way, for those that might be watching slash listening, pay attention to what we got going on. Follow After Seven Music on Instagram so that you can, what I'm saying, keep in touch with what we got because
Yeah,
we got
and I
some
love
things
how
coming up.
y'all keep the y'all Instagram lit. Like y'all keep it interesting
Yeah,
and fresh. Like it's always active and highlighting everybody. So very
yeah,
dope page.
yes,
And then with you
indeed.
being so young, you bring in a whole nother young energy to the group as well. So any
Yeah,
plans
and I
of
think that
y'all
helps.
like recording music, new music together?
Gonna keep my fingers crossed and also stay prayed up on that one. I would absolutely love to.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
well,
There might be some
I'm
things in
definitely
the
rooting for
works.
that because we need more After Seven music, and it'd be dope to hear the new members on there as well, just adding their flavor, adding your flavor because already y'all got hella vocals, so it would just
Man,
be an
appreciate it.
interesting mix to hear where all y'all voices come together on new tracks. Dope.
Put a
Maybe we
put a
could do a
poll out
remix of
there.
Before We Say Goodnight.
Could be, could very well be. You just
You
never
never
know.
know. That song is amazing. Anything can happen. Let's
Yes,
see.
sir.
In an era of heavy production and shortcuts, how important is true vocal ability to you?
To me, it's very important. Like when I go to the studio, like I know, like we have these tools, right? Where it's like pitch correction, we got auto tune, and whatever else that they use to like make you sound good when you're
Mm-hmm.
in the studio recording. But again, growing up the way that I grew up, and a special thanks to God for allowing me to be born into a family that sings all the time and created that atmosphere that's conducive for just loving to sing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then growing up listening to music, listening to artists who had to sing. When they went into the booth, they had to sing. They had to be on pitch. Uh, I would say even some of them, it wasn't really even a such thing as like doing any plugins. Like you had to sing the song the whole way through.
All the way through. Okay.
And
One take.
so, yeah, literally one take. And I think I was used to that. So when I go into the studio now, I make sure like if I'm not on top of the note particularly, I'll be like, no, let me do it again. And sometimes like the engineers will get mad and be like, bro, like it sounds good. Like what you know? I was like, no, no, no. It don't sound good to me. Well, we can fix it. No, 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 no. I want to fix it.
You gotta make sure it
I'm
feels
one of
right
those
to you.
people.
So when it gets out there, it feels you don't you're not looking back at it like, oh, I could have did this better.
Yeah, like that's and honestly, like I still feel that way, even with like some of the music that I put out of my own. Like
Okay.
I'll still be like in my head, like man, like I probably could have did that better, or that pitch sounds a little too sharp, or
Mm.
I might be a little bit underneath that note that I really want to hit. Like I'm what's the word? Like I would
Particular.
say a perfectionist, but I'm also
Okay.
very particular about this, about what I do because like I want it to be right. I want it to sound good, and of course, I want the people to love it too. So,
Definitely. Who are like your top five male vocalists?
whoo, man, uh, in no particular order, and I know it's five, but I have so many, in all honesty. But the first person I'm gonna have to go with is Eric Benet.
Oh
Uh,
man.
that's my guy. Uh,
And I love
the
how
second,
he's evolving into like he's really tearing the
yeah.
gram up. He
Oh
giving
yeah.
hell right now.
That's why I said that's my guy, man. That dude is super hilarious. But yeah, definitely him. Um, I'd say who's another one? I'm gonna have to go with Stevie.
Yes.
I have to go with Stevie Wonder for sure. His range is crazy. The stuff that he can do with his voice. Um, oh man, let me see if I can try to get gather all this together because there's so many of them.
The five foundational vocalists that helped you become the vocalist that you are today.
Oh man, actually, he's not a celebrity or anything like that, but I'm gonna have to throw my dad in there.
Nice. I mean, we ain't mad at pops. I mean,
Yeah,
it starts at the foundation.
yeah, I'm gonna have to throw my dad in there because that's literally who I like looked after and wanted to be like slash be better than.
That's it. That's
uh,
great. That's great.
yeah. So him. Um. Uh. I'm probably gonna get. I'm probably gonna get Oh, they gonna come
They're
after me
gonna
for
tear you up for this one.
that. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to say it though, Brian McKnight.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, come on now. You can't. Brian McKnight's a beast.
yeah, vocally that dude is incredible.
His
Tank.
pen, his vocals, the range of runs, he's amazing.
Yeah,
I don't know about all the other stuff. That's between them.
yeah, right. Went there. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Nothing to
But
do
like I
with
said,
that. Nothing to do with
yeah.
that.
But Tank, uh,
Oh, okay. Tank.
yeah, yeah, and like I said, there's more. Like I know you said top five, but I have to say, Tank. I have to say
No,
Jamie
that's a
Foxx.
good. That's a strong five. That's a hell of a
Yeah,
five. And I love that you added Eric Benet in it because
yeah,
not too many people mention him at all. So and
yeah,
his vocals, he's maintained his vocals and just kept it. I mean, just kept it going.
yeah. I've seen him live in St. Louis. The later part of, no, the earlier part of this year, I want to say. uh, if I'm not mistaken. It was either the later part of last year or the earlier part of this year. I recently saw him in St. Louis, and yeah, no, he does not disappoint vocally. He got it.
Yeah,
He
I
just
saw
got
him
it.
in Atlanta when he first came out,
So yeah,
and
one of my,
he killed it when he had
yeah,
the second album came out. Amazing. Let's see.
yeah.
How have you evolved as an artist from when you first started to now?
Uh, Definitely a lot more comfortable. Uh, just being on stage. Um, but I still feel the same. I don't
Okay.
feel any different than when I did when I first started, and I love it. I love it that way. I love it like that. But I would say for me, what's growing more for me is movement and like
Mm-hmm.
being a little bit more like interactive with the crowd, because usually like I'll just go up there and I'll just like flat foot sing, and
Okay.
people would feel that, they'll still like enjoy just be standing there in flat foot singing, because like I always try to like incorporate people to sing along with me. Like I'll make the audience my choir.
Right.
uh but now it's just like, learning, like I said, learning from being on stage with After Seven and the stuff that we do. I try to incorporate like a little bit of that stuff to what I do whenever I do go out. Like I don't really do a lot of shows on my own anymore because of our schedule.
Right.
Uh, I'm like we're on the road pretty much every other weekend, performing. And so when I'm not doing that, like I'm just I'm at home and just kind of like chilling out.
Oh well,
Uh,
I'm pretty sure as as you continue to be on the road and people get more familiar with who you are, and they hear
yeah,
the music that's out there,
yeah, yeah.
God works in mysterious ways.
That part, that
You
part.
know, so anything is possible, and this shit we here today.
Yeah.
You be who knows where you be tomorrow. Let's see.
Right.
What do you feel when you're on stage and the crowd is really locked in with you?
It's like that adrenaline that just starts pumping, I love it when the crowd is like locked in. You know what I mean? Like I can look out there and like they'll look at me and like I'll see them like smiling, or they'll be like pointing or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And like it makes me feel so good in the inside. So I'm like, all right, I see y'all rocking with me. Now I'm really gonna give it to you now. Like, I ain't gonna be like, I ain't gonna really hold back but
Right.
much. I'm gonna let loose, you know what I mean?
We
Uh
want to see what you got.
yeah,
Give the people what you got.
yeah, that part. Like I'm gonna make y'all like me
Was it
even more.
Mariah Carey said, "I'm giving you the best that I
Yeah,
got."
that part. Her and Anita.
Dope, dope. Now you had a special moment. I mean, in my opinion, because this lady is incredible. She's also a friend to the show,
Mm,
and love her dearly. And she has one of the most timeless duets in R&B history. Miss
yeah,
Karyn White, you've had the blessing of singing "Love Sword." Babyface, my favorite. Babyface is my favorite.
yeah.
My male artist,
Hmm.
songwriter, and in the game. And you had the opportunity to sing his part with the
Yeah.
queen. I mean, still fine, still sexy. I mean, I don't know, maybe you're too young to understand what Karen White meant to us growing up, but for you to be able to bless that song, that voice, that image, that goddess of a woman. What was that like for you? Did you
Man,
understand what she was doing when you was doing it?
so um, I remember when I first had the opportunity to do it. I wasn't actually supposed to do it.
That's
It
how
was
it always
actually,
happens.
yeah, it was supposed to be my little brother, who is an incredible singer, songwriter, and musician. Shouts out to my little bro, B Music.
Okay.
Uh, but he couldn't make it that particular day. He had something that was on his calendar, and so I got asked to do it. And so I went in, and this is when she had came to Virginia, Hampton,
Hmm.
and shouts out to Noir Hampton, by the way. And we never rehearsed the song.
Did you have
We
to though? Cause everybody know that song. I just know you as a singer, you gotta know that song already.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's one of my all time favorites as well. One of my all time favorite duets. And I again grew up listening to Karyn White as well, so like I knew all of her hits.
Right.
Um, so we got up there, and I remember meeting her for the first time, and we were just going through sound check, and we went through the song, and she like when we got through it, she just looked at me. She was like, "Oh my God, I just love you." She was like, "I have to get your personal information before we leave. Like, you are so incredible and you're such a sweet spirit." Like, and I'm just over here like, because she's such a beautiful woman and she has
Still,
yes, and such an incredible spirit. You're like, oh, just overall,
yeah,
everything
she's
about
the
her is
full
just
package. Like I see. Oh,
yeah. And being able to sing that song with her for the first time, I remember like, her manager, I met her manager as well. And
yeah. Shouts to Derek.
yes, sir. He looked at me and he was like, man, he was like, I'm so proud of you. Mind you, I don't know who he is. Uh, never met him before, but he walked up to me, he shook my hand. He was like, man, I'm so proud of you, man. Like, I've been seeing you doing your thing. And I'm like, thank you. But in my head, I'm like, I don't recall ever meeting you before. But I just go with it, and I
Right.
was like, man, I appreciate it. It means a lot, kind of thing. And he was like, yeah, like we'll be in touch. And so then I found out like maybe a day later, and it was like, yeah, like Karyn wants you to actually go on the road with her, like whenever
Mm.
like she needs you. And so I was like, really? And so I was like, no, this is crazy. And by this time, I just got on with After Seven as well. And so um, fast forward to Vegas of this year in January, I
Hmm.
had the opportunity to sing with her again, and it was incredible. Just the same feeling um, that I had when I first sang with her. And again, we never rehearsed. And a lot of people, like I tell people that, and they're just like in disbelief, like, y'all never rehearsed that song together. I was like, no,
You
we
don't
we
have
sang
to. The
we
song,
sang it
you
on
don't
the
have to
sound.
rehearse that one. That one, just if you can sing. She did a show at the same spot I saw Christopher Williams in, and she did it. It was a track date, and she
Mhm.
performed that song. And she said, "Any males, if you just want to come up and sing, just come up and sing the song." And I was
Wow.
like, "Damn, I want to do it, but nah, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't, I ain't gonna be able to do it." So I went backstage. She said, "Why you ain't come up there and sing?" I said, "Shit, no. I want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy
Yeah.
it. I came to see. I came to hear the hits, not be a part of the hits. Nah, it was amazing track, man. Amazing. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
man.
just an honor. I mean, your voice deserves it. So, because everyone that I've seen duet with her, I'm proud of y'all because I'm proud of her just for being coming back, and giving
Yeah.
us this music, because we
Mhm.
missed it. We missed her singing the music, because I don't
Mhm.
want to hear nobody else sing her music but her.
About her,
And
because she still
so,
got it.
and she's like a forever artist. So I'm glad that she got that second win to give us the best that she still has. So I'm
Yeah.
proud of all the male artists who've been able to bless the stage with her, because she has some amazing music.
Yes,
All
indeed.
right. So what's a moment in your career that the public never saw but meant everything to you?
Ooh, I have a couple of those. Um,
Okay.
so the first one I would say is when I opened up for Charlie Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Uh, it was just me, no band, no background singers, just me and tracks. I was nervous out of my mind, of course, because it was thousands of people in this arena.
Mm-hmm.
And I sung like, all the old school stuff. Some, from like El DeBarge to, the Secret Garden by Quincy Jones and,
Yeah.
all the artists that came with that. And of course my original music. And the crowd loved me. And so when I went to, when I went backstage, like after the show was over with, Uncle Charlie and, his people, like they were walking by. And he looked at me, he was like, "Boy, well, I was about to come up there and slap you beside your head, man. You was up there hitting all them notes, man." And so he pulled me off to the side and he took his hand and he put it like right here.
Mm.
And he was like, "Young brother," he was like, "you have a gift." He was like, "Whatever you do," he was like, "don't stop singing." He was like, "Every chance you get, I want you to sing." He was like, "And as you go to that next level, because you going," he was like, "remember what Uncle Charlie told you. Don't stop singing." That was one like moment for me that was like breathtaking because I'm like, he's a legend of legends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it don't
And
get no. I
for
mean,
him,
after that, it's like Stevie and Michael. And
yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
And if you could bring
I'm
Donnie
like,
back to
I'm
sing
just over here
something,
like
I
in
mean,
awe.
that would be it.
Yeah.
Jesus
I'm like,
Christ!
did he just put his hand like he put his hand like
Did you
right
did
here?
you birth a did you birth another vocal cord in there when he did it? Did you feel a anointing change? Is something else happening?
I definitely felt like it was like a whole like shift of, just anointing. I felt like that's what he was doing. I felt like he was anointing my voice
Nice.
by him like just putting his hand over there and he was like, "God bless you," kind of thing. He was like,
That's
"You are
dope.
a gift, you are a talent." Uh so that was one moment that of course I'll never forget. Uh and then this is a funny one. Uh
Uh oh.
so yeah, I remember actually the show in Vegas, January of this year.
Uh huh.
On the lineup, it was After Seven, Adina Howard, Lavelle, Karyn White, and I think his name is Joshua. Forgive me for not remembering his name, but he's an
Okay.
incredible musician. Uh, I remember, we were getting ready to go on stage just right before Karen was getting ready to go on. And I was in the green room talking to Adina Howard and, her entourage of people. And, she was telling me, she was like, "I'm so proud of you." And she was like, "So you're getting ready to go on with Karen?" I was like, "Yeah." So Jamel walks in. He was like, "You know, Karen is going to be on stage looking real sexy and vibrant and everything. And don't you ladies think that he should go on stage without his shirt on underneath that velvet coat?" And they was like, "Yeah." I was like,
No.
"Huh?"
You like
They was like, "Well,
no.
do you look the part?" I was like, "Yeah, I try to hit the gym like, 3 days
Okay.
out of the week."
Yeah.
And so they was like, "Yeah, you should go without the shirt." And I was like, "Y'all wanted me to take the shirt off now?" And they was like, "Yeah." So I got down and did like 50 push-ups real quick, and then I turned around and like took the shirt off. They was like, "Why you turning around?" I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm a married man." So then I turned around, I was like trying to zipping up the coat, and then the zipper would not zipping up, and I was like, "Oh
You
no."
started thinking about the lyrics and before we say goodnight. It's like can't do
Yeah,
it,
I was
can't do
like,
it.
"Oh man." So like Adina, she's like, come here, baby. Let me help you out." And so like she's trying to like zip. And the whole time I'm like low key like sweating. I'm like, "Oh, bro." But they were all like laughing at me because again, like I'm the youngest person in that whole lineup. So like, it was funny. But yeah, it was that. And then I think the last moment that I'll bring up is at that same show. Uh, Keith Washington was actually there.
Oh man.
And he had walked up to me after, Karen had did her set and we'd sang that song together. And, he walked up to me. He was like, "Nephew, I'm so proud of you, man. Like, you finally getting your shine on." Now, keep in mind, I've never met Keith Washington prior to this moment. I've never talked to Keith Washington prior
He
to
just
this
saying
moment.
fuck you.
Yeah, he was just like, "Nephew." And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I'm like, thank you. But then he was like telling everybody else that, that was right. He was like, yeah, this young brother, man, he covered one of my songs and he posted it
Okay.
online. And I'm like, me? He was like, yeah, you. You did a cover of my song, Kissing You. And I had to
Oh
think about
man.
it.
So
This
you
was
didn't
like
know that was him? You didn't know that was him?
I knew it was him because I had tagged him in it when I had posted it, but I had
Okay.
forgotten that I did the video. This was 4 years ago. And like I said, I posted it on Instagram like way back, like during, like shortly after COVID.
Okay.
And I, thought nothing else of it since. But then when he was telling me about it, I was like, are you talking about the video I posted on Instagram? He was like, yeah, that one. I was like, Doc, that was like 4 years ago. He was like, I
You just
know.
never know.
I
So
was
he
like,
said nephew or he said F you?
he said nephew.
Oh, I thought he said F you. You
Nah.
did an amazing job.
Nah, he was like nephew,
I
like
thought he was on they say Aretha Franklin be saying or Kiki said call her a heifer or something, you sang my
yeah,
song. I thought he gave you one
yeah.
of those moments.
Nah,
My
nah.
bad.
Nah, he was like nephew, like he unc and I'm nephew kind of thing. But yeah, that was a moment where I was like, my jaw had literally like dropped. I was like you remember that from 4 years ago,
Yeah.
and you remember me from 4 years ago? Like that's crazy. So it's like,
You'd
yeah,
be
you
surprised
never
how
know.
many people remind, checking out the videos and stuff. You just never know. That's the beauty about the social media. Like you just never know how
Hmm.
who's watching, who you think no one's watching sometime, and that's the time when everybody's watching, even if it's just that one good person, right?
Right. Yeah.
Crazy,
So that was
crazy.
that was crazy. That was a
Do,
crazy moment
I
right there.
got two more for you. Do you feel like
Okay.
the culture does enough to honor R&B legends while they're still here?
Hmm. I would say it's getting there. I would definitely say it's getting there. I think it's becoming a thing now where a lot of R&B acts, especially from back in the day, are starting to be honored. And I want to give a very very special shout out to the R&B Money podcast,
Yeah,
Tank and Jay Valentine. Special shouts out to them because I feel like they are definitely making the effort to do that, to to um, shine light on those that have kind of been there and done it, been there and still doing that. And they ask like very very great questions about the history,
yeah,
and everything that it took, and it really like it opens up a lot of people's eyes and makes people think like, wow, like I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were a part of that. Well, I didn't know they
right.
contributed in such a way. Uh, their podcast is definitely doing that right now.
I would
So
agree. I agree.
yeah,
And then with voices like yours, and those who have voices like yours, y'all can continue to keep the great music going, keep it alive, keep the classics that we've heard sang so beautifully and soulfully.
yeah,
Y'all can just keep the music alive within the young generation. So
for
it's
sure.
dope. When it's all said and done, what do you want your contribution to R&B to represent?
Um, I wanted, honestly, for me, I wanted to serve as a testimony.
Mm,
Because I'm a spiritual person who sings R&B music, but I'm the kind of person, I stand on the fact that God is everywhere. He's
yes.
not limited to a certain genre. He's everywhere. And so what I want people to take away from my contributions is that you can do whatever it is that you put your mind to, um, and never doubt yourself. If God has given you the vision, if He's given you the dream, then that means that that's enough to believe that you have what it takes to go out there and get it done.
Hmm.
Um, and the way that I contribute as well is I sing with meaning, I sing with passion, I sing with love. Um, and that's what it's about for me. Not the fame, not the fortune or anything
Yeah.
like that. Of course, those are great things, but for me, it's just the love of it. And
Nice. What
what I
What's
want
the
people,
one thing you feel like you had to overcome to get to this place where you are right now?
Doubt.
Doubt.
Yes, doubt. Doubt for me has been a huge thing as to why it took me. I'm not gonna say how can I put this? Because of course, everything happens on God's divine timing. So regardless if we think it's a delay or not, like it's on time.
And you
Um,
never stopped because of doubt, but you just had doubt. You still kept
yes,
it going. You still kept
I still
pushing, but
kept
you
going.
just had doubt along the way.
Yeah, yeah, I still I never stopped singing. Even during that 20-year hiatus of me not really even wanting to do this as a career, I was
Right.
still singing. Um, but it was just not it wasn't a thought of making a career out of it because that's where that doubt kind of set in. But then, like I said, once I hit that pivotal moment and it really made me change my perspective, then that's when I started to like really start pressing towards making a career out of it. And then things really started happening like fairly quickly. Uh like I started 2023, late 2023.
Damn.
We're now at the kind of sort of still at the top of 2026. I
Getting
started
into
with like
second
a
quarter.
year ago.
The
Yeah.
second quarter of 2026.
So
You could when you was at the Sugar Bar, that was like after the pandemic, I believe, right? Or was it that was after the pandemic?
yeah, I think when I first went to the Sugar Bar, it was 2023,
Two, maybe.
2, one of those. I think it was
Yeah, one of those.
2020. Yeah, I think it may have been 2022. I had to go back and look at my
Yeah,
dates
right.
because I
The
know I
real.
had.
Look at you.
Yeah, because it's been a while. I've been back, a couple of times here. Of course, I went for the first time during the open mic. That's when I sung "Beauty"
Okay, yep.
by Drew Hill.
I'm actually hosting it on April 9th.
April 9th?
Yeah, for my B day.
Okay, nice,
Yeah, we're gonna
nice.
be up in
Yeah,
there. We're
we,
gonna be
we
up in there,
definitely
the
plan to
whole
come
crew.
back up.
We're gonna jam and do what we
Nice.
do. Man, Trey,
Yeah.
this has been an amazing conversation. I was looking forward to it because you have so much history that you represented and so much future that you're creating. So it was just dope to be able to speak to somebody. You're making history. You know what I'm saying? Then this
Man.
is, and I'm proud of you. I'm glad to see. I feel like I wasn't there, but I was there because I remember seeing you at the Sugar Bar perform that one time, and just
Yes,
following
sir.
you and seeing everything that you've been able to accomplish, and that you're not giving up on your own music as well. And it seems like you're just in a great space, and just glad to be able to capture this moment and hopefully people when they check out the interview they learn more about you. You go run up those numbers for before we say goodnight. It's available on all digital platforms, and continue to jam the After Seven classics, and hopefully we get some new After Seven with your vocals on those leads as well, because that would
Yes,
just
sir.
be amazing.
Yes, indeed. And man, thank you again, man. I appreciate you showing so much love. Appreciate you for the constant spans of before we say goodnight, brother. And
Definitely.
we'll definitely be linking soon because we plan to come back to New York sometime this year when
Nice,
it's
nice.
warm.
Well, we're here. We're here waiting for you, rooting for you, and all that good stuff. How can the people find you on social media?
You can follow me on social media at Mr. underscore Trey Jones. That's MR underscore TREYJONES. And you can follow my personal page. And then of course, if you're not following After Seven Music, you can follow After Seven Music after number 7 music on Instagram as well. You can also find me on TikTok. I'm on there as well.
Okay,
Trey Jones sings. So yeah, check that out as well.
nice. All right, my brother. Thank you again for
Yes,
coming
sir.
on, and we'll be supporting. Looking forward to all the greatness
Appreciate
that's
you, brother.
coming along.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank you,
have a good
man.
night. Tell your wife I said hello.
Will do. Take it easy,
Uh,
brother.
Peace.
Peace.